and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. Navigating today's real estate market can be tricky. Want to buy or sell a house, finance or insure a house, or stuck with a house and don't know what to do? Florida Talk Real Estate has been your local one-stop real estate shop since 2012. Get the advice you need from your local real estate pros. Here are your hosts, Jim DePola and Johnny C. live on Real Radio.
What are we doing? Yeah, what are we doing? Jimmy's going to give us the instructions?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing? Yeah.
Basically, so instead of everybody doing a clap all at once, we're going to do, Johnny, you give a clap right now. Go look into the camera and clap.
Okay.
Ross, you do the same. And Jim, you do the same. Perfect.
Okay.
That's all we need. Okay.
Now, Jim, can you do it for me?
Hey, I know.
And that wasn't my hands.
No, it was not.
I know, Johnny, I'm stepping on you here for the intro, so we'll do that in just a second. I just wanted to tell you that the clap video, I put out a clap video yesterday. You saw that one?
Yeah.
Where it said, the headline was, Johnny C's got the clap. I did it again. I'm done. I'm done now. Right? I'm done. It was a little shorty. It's on YouTube.
They're not going to fall for that again.
It's floating around Florida Talk Real Estate Facebook page and YouTube. But anyway, I thought it was really funny. It got a decent amount of views.
So far, it's got the most.
Yeah. And
broke the internet.
As I was doing it, I was feeling very guilty but smiling as I was putting that video together. And I was like, why am I saying only Johnny C's got the clap? Technically, we all got the clap.
Kind of.
Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm done with that joke, Johnny. But anyway,
I love it. Thank you for bearing with us as we clap on a Saturday. You can get involved in a lot of different ways. Hopefully, you're clapping with us. You can join us on the radio, 92.1, 107. Thank you for being there. Free download with your iHeartRadio app. And we live stream. That's why we're clapping. It's all about the production for the live stream on Facebook and YouTube. Find us, Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook, Florida Talk Real Estate LLC on YouTube. We do live stream. That's why you get all the clap stuff. Again, to sync everything up. You know what I'm talking about? Of course, you can be interactive with the show. You can go ahead and dial in, 877-927-6969. Jimothy, our producer extraordinaire, he'll line you up there. What's up, my dude? How are you, my friend?
Good morning, Johnny. How are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm all discombobulated. I got sunglasses on. I got my glasses like in my hand. I'm mid ready.
We'll transition here in a second.
Yeah, that's what happens when you show up, like 20 seconds before the intro fires.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So right on time.
Right on time this morning.
Nice.
Always good to see you, my dude.
Oh, ready for Christmas?
Yeah.
Nice.
I got a bunch of rapping to do still, but
do you really? Yeah. Okay, yeah. I did that yesterday while the wife was away still.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna I don't think we're gonna wait until Christmas Eve to do it all this year. I think we're gonna plan a little bit better.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Nice.
Try to learn from past mistakes.
Good. Early Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, and Merry Christmas to you as well.
Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah. It's been some wild, crazy nights.
Oh, yeah. It usually is. Yeah, in your house.
Hey, that oil was only supposed to last one night.
Mm-hmm.
It lasted 8 nights.
Damn right.
You explain it.
There you go.
Miracle. Johnny C, that's me. Ross Komarinetz, he's with us, y'all. He's with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. Ross, how are you, my dude?
I am well. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you as well.
I like I do like the shades.
Do you?
Yeah. I thought about, dang it, man, I should go out to my car. Jim should go out to his car, and we should all be wearing our shades today.
All right, so I can be talked into it. I mean, if I'm not the only one, I will leave
it's a
them
good
on.
look.
Yeah.
I like it.
Are you going to do that? Are you going to?
Yeah, we got to see what Jimmy does.
All right. Well, I'm a total follower. So if you guys are doing it, I'm doing it. Always good to see you, my friend.
You too.
And of course, our fearless leader, 13 plus years now. I've told you, he runs a top producing Keller Williams team, the Florida Home Pros team. Keller Williams Innovations. This is Jimmy D. Jim DePola. How you be? Are you getting your glasses?
Hey, I'm doing good. Yeah, I should go get them outside in the car. I should go get my shades.
Yeah. Then I can leave
mine. Are AI.
What does that mean?
That means I could record you on my glasses.
Oh, you got like a Meta and everything in your phone?
Yeah, I got the Meta thing. And you could ask questions and it'll answer questions to you. You can play music on it.
Yeah, it's got little speakers, right? That you can only you can hear.
Yep, right in the arms. And then also on top of it this is the best part, is let's say you're talking to somebody and they speak Spanish and you don't know how to speak Spanish. You can say, hey, Meta, translate to English. And then you start talking Spanish and then it translated immediately into English live.
That's clutch. That is
really
insane. Useful.
Yeah. I ended up getting, I had an old version of them, so I kept them. And I'm keeping them in my car in case I ever meet somebody that I can't speak their language and they can't speak ours. And I'm just going to give them the glasses and say, turn it on. I'm going to turn it on for them. And then we can have a conversation in our own languages. I haven't done that
How are you going to explain that when you can't explain it to them?
Oh, because I'll say,
some stranger. You're going to go put glasses on.
The first thing you're going to do is go to Google. You probably have to go to Google Translate first and then tell them, through Google Translate, say, put on these glasses and blah, blah, blah. And then we could talk.
That's going to be, I would love to watch that whole exchange about you trying to convince them to put the glasses on to communicate.
That would be funny if they put them on and ran away.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? Here, put on these glasses so we can talk, and then they just run away.
Right, and they're yelling thank you in some language you don't know, and you're like, damn it, I don't know what the language is. They just stole my glasses.
But I could curse at them, and they would know what I'm saying.
Well,
as
they
they're
would at
running
that point.
away. I can curse at them. They can.
Be like, oh, he's not happy.
That's funny. Anyway, happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
Is that coming up?
Yes.
Kwanzaa start?
Yeah, when is Kwanzaa?
I don't know.
What coming up,
bad.
else?
Christmas.
I think we're like next month. I think. Yeah,
Really?
Yeah, we're getting there.
I gotta ask this every Christmas time. I gotta ask Johnny, how many trees in the house?
It's really limited.
Oh,
yeah.
limited this year?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the last couple of years we've shrunk it down.
That's right. I remember. That's why I asked. I knew that last year.
We got like technically one.
So let me ask you. So when you had a whole bunch of them at one time, I think you said at one time 5 or something.
We did. We said
were they all live or were they like artificial trees?
All dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
All fake.
Fake trees. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't think you're buying 5 live trees.
That's a lot of storage. That's a lot of storage. 5 trees and then 5 sets of like ornaments.
Yeah.
And all that.
And all were totally different. Like most of them had like themes. And then we just have our hodgepodge, which is our kind of main tree.
Did you have a Halloween themed one? Like a horror one?
No, not really. One was like a sports theme. One was, for the little ones predominantly as she was growing up. Yeah. And then one was like one was a purple one that went in our room, had the purple lights and everything. Yeah, so I mean, just a little bit more specific, but yeah, we had to shrink it down.
You shrinking it down.
It does fill a house when you have 5 trees. Yeah.
And then when you did that, how long? When would you take them down? If you had 5 trees going,
so we put them up early and we take them down late. And it's not laziness. Well, I guess there might be a little bit of that, but not a lot of it. It's all about wanting to consume it. Yeah. So I don't know, maybe through February. Probably comes down when Valentine's goes up.
Wow.
Yeah, we're a little excessive. And the lights in the house though stay up year round, like we're Stranger Things trying to communicate with the upside down. Yeah, we are so upper white trash though. I mean, admittedly, most of my radio career, I'm like, look, I'm UWT, like through and through, upper white trash. We have water that comes out of the fridge and a pool. Like I'm the upper end of white trash. You know what I'm saying? Come on.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, that's why you have Christmas.
Own it.
Christmas lights on the inside of the house. If they're
Year
outside,
round. That's awesome.
If they're outside, do you get to enjoy them very much?
No, you don't.
No, you
That's
don't.
a good point.
Right? I'm a little selfish.
That's
Those
a
are
good
for me.
point.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to put Christmas trees inside the house. Oh, lights.
Yeah,
Lights,
good.
Lights, not a tree too.
Yeah, put the trees
Put
outside.
the tree
now.
outside. Yeah. One time I was living with somebody and we got a regular Christmas tree, or no, live Christmas tree. I guess live if you want to call it that way. A regular Christmas tree. It isn't really live anymore, right? You cut it.
No, it is live. You put it in water. It
but I don't think.
thrives.
Yeah, I think it's like dying though. I don't think you can make it live forever.
It's on life support. Yeah, but you make the decision to pull the plug. I mean, you
exactly.
do. Yeah.
But
Murder.
I said to him, I thought you were allergic to Christmas. Well, I want to do it this year. I'm like, okay. So we put it in. I was at work. It's like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. I get this call. She says that she had such a bad allergic attack that she couldn't even take the ornaments off the tree. She just kicked it over and then rolled it out the sliding glass door.
That's terrible.
And then when I got home, it's like, and she loved decorating trees and stuff. She was like, should have been a professional at it, right? And now I go out in the backyard and it's like the trees there and everything's broken. And she had to do an EpiPen.
Oh,
No way.
Yeah, it was like serious.
bad.
Yeah, it was
That's
serious.
gambling.
But
Just for a tree.
she had to kick it out. Like she had to kick it out.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sliding
it's good to
glass
touch
door.
it. One of my favorite jobs as a teenager was working at a Christmas tree lot.
Oh,
Man, I have such fond memories of it. Hard work. We
Yeah.
busted our
yeah.
butts,
Yeah.
but we made cash money in our pocket every night. Had a lot of fun because the dude that hired me the first year, he's like, yeah. And then he's like, you got friends? Because we needed the help. I was like, yeah, I got some friends. So we had a gaggle of like my dudes. We had so much fun and worked our butts off and made a ton of money. We did it like probably 4 seasons, 5 seasons.
A lot of
Really.
sap in here. A lot of
So-
sap.
A lot of sap.
sap.
Man,
Little
those-
full.
Those trucks would show up just filled to the brim and like filled with ice, like still frozen, coming out of the mountains. It was crazy. And we had to, it's like literally people would jump up and toss trees down off the trucks and then we'd have to stack them all. Yeah, it was quite an undertaking.
That's
I
a good
I
day's
touched
work
every
right
one of
there.
those trees so many times.
You go home and just sleep like a baby.
So, you're teenagers, so you go home and
Yeah, I guess.
try to find someone to buy you beer.
Yeah, you got money in your pocket. Right?
Yeah,
Stuff like
especially.
that.
Yeah,
Go get a
exactly.
dime bag. Yeah, I mean, that's the reality. No, you didn't
No,
go home and
all
sleep
right.
like a baby.
I had a friend that actually somebody in our database actually does that for a living. They own land up in North Carolina, Christmas tree farm,
Nice.
right? And then they bring it down here, and then they already have the lots picked out and everything.
I wonder if that's as profitable as it once was, because there's a time when
Yeah.
everybody bought real trees. I mean, it's not, I don't think it's quite there anymore. I don't know.
I
It's
drove
weird.
by one of those stands just today on the way out on Indiantown Road, and they had a lot of trees left.
Yeah.
There were a lot of trees there.
They're not inexpensive. And they even
No.
weren't back when I was,
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
weren't
we're
back
going
then.
back. I'm an old ass man, you know?
You know, it's funny. One of my friends worked for a company like that. So every year, he did the seasonal thing, but he also did fireworks. So one time when I was a reporter, I had to go out because some smart aleck took a match or a lighter or something and threw it into the fireworks stand, and the whole thing went
Oh,
up. And it was
boy.
right by the road, so it was like news. So I had to go out there and cover it, and it was my buddy's fireworks stand, and the whole thing just blew up. There
I
wasn't
can't
hardly
imagine.
anything left. It was pretty bad.
What a scene that
And it was
must have
shooting
been.
across the roads. It was like near military or something, and the fireworks were shooting across the
Wow.
roads and stuff. It was pretty crazy.
We should
That's
just go buy everything, go out to like a vacant lot and just recreate that. I bet that was pretty cool. I bet that was pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Just watch it all go.
Yeah.
Hell of a
Yeah.
grand finale.
Yeah.
Just one time I want to do that.
So I just want to put out a couple of things before we get into the deep part of the show. Just wanted to say that we're doing a lot more on Facebook and YouTube right now. We're still going through changes, like we're always saying, but I know that they're getting better and better. We were joking about the YouTube video we have about Johnny and our medical problems that we got over here. I'm joking. But if you want to find out really good information about real estate and the real estate market, or just have a couple of laughs, go over there. Right now, I would recommend going to the shorties section, if you will. That's where most of the new stuff is coming out right now. But in the next week or two, we're going to be having 5 to 15-minute videos coming out. So if you don't want to watch the whole show, you can catch subjects that we talk about. And it won't be overly packaged, so it'll still be the free-for-all that we all do together, which I feel is like makes the show. It isn't just the information, it's the crew we got, right? So looking forward to that. Like our YouTube page, follow it, subscribe to it, and please like our Facebook page. And that'll roll me right into the shout-outs, if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do just that. Yeah, like, share, do all that stuff, please.
Yeah, please. And most of it's going to start off with gratitude. Today, I have to say this because it was bothering me a lot. Did you see all the cars parked out there?
Yes.
Out
Yeah.
there. That was the most I've ever seen in how long have we been here now? When did we come back? 22 or 23 to the studio? Because remember, we were kicked out of the studio. Not kicked out, but
Yeah,
COVID,
COVID
kicked
time.
out. Yeah.
I don't think we're that well.
24. It wasn't 24,
I
right?
say 20.
No.
When did Jason come in?
20, I think
23?
22, 23 somewhere.
Yeah,
Anyway.
so 3 years we've been here at the studio, and there is a church at the end of the road. And we always saw cars lined up, and I didn't know what was going on. It was a food bank, right?
That's
Which
right.
is awesome. That church does that.
And there's always been too long of a line. I mean, too long
much.
of a line.
Even in good times, right?
Yeah.
I was always surprised when things were not as, well, we still had really high inflation, right? But the thing is that overall, for most people, the economy was pretty good, but we saw that there were people in need. And, you see the cars that are not parked, they're waiting in line.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all different types of cars. They're, older beat up cars. There's Mercedes there, there's all different types of people going there.
Oh, yeah.
In a food line here right now.
Yep.
And today, for the first time ever, there are so many people that are in that food line today that it's a pretty long road, but that road was so full that they looped around and are doubled up on one side of the road just so they can get into wide.
And still was as I was pulling
Was it?
in. And
Yeah, probably.
I got here right at the nick of the
I
show started.
I noticed it too coming in.
Yeah.
So, and
way too many people.
yeah, and the other thing is that was a little shocking to me and sad. But the other Rick passed, the guy with the log cabin.
Oh,
we just got a
sucks.
call this week. It's really bad. He had stage 4 cancer. His family and him hired me to sell his house. I hate to say it this way because it's really rough losing him, but because he's always been a big fan of the show. He's been calling us since 2013, 2012 when we started, somewhere around there. But really great family guy. Did a lot of carpentry work, handyman carpentry guy. But thank God that he had called us because we were able to take care of everything before he passed. But more importantly, we set up trusts and estates that were needed and everything so that they didn't have to go through probate hell.
Yeah.
On top of losing their loved one. So anyway,
that's what that could turn into.
Yeah,
I mean, absolutely hell. Yeah.
So getting everything lined up and making sure, I'm just a realtor. I'm not a lawyer, but I knew enough, because of what we do for a living. I know enough in order to say, hey, you need to do this right now. And thank God that they fell into place and did everything. But
give them guidance and give them professionals that they need. That's the beautiful thing about the Florida Talk Real Estate team is you really have a network of awesomeness to work with.
Yeah. So thank you, Johnny. So, that gave me a little solace to know that I really helped that family out a lot.
Big time.
And God bless that family. And then we had another one of my customers. I hadn't talked to him in 4 years, and I decided to call the wife at the last minute because I've been calling the husband. And just put a little shout out, Merry Christmas. Hope your kids are okay and everybody's good. You've got to catch up. And he passed 6 months ago, Greg. And the wife was devastated. And she called me back right away. And I realized that she needs a lot of legal and accounting advice. So we're going to get her that for her right now.
Good.
And that's what makes us different, here on the show is that we can help everybody in a lot of different ways. Like even with Ross, if you've got a high insurance rate, one of the ways that we used to help is third nail, right? And still help to this day, but third nail, right? So Ross isn't a carpenter guy or something, right? He's just an insurance guy, right? He books insurance policies for people, gives them great service. But he also can give you advice. It's like, hey, if you do this, you can save a lot of money. And then we have the people that could help you do that. And the thing that I love about this show is that there's no kickbacks or under the table, hey, use this guy so you make extra money. We all just do what we do, and we make our money that way, but we all trust each other, and it's really great.
That's the key. It's the trusted resource. And and hey, you either follow the advice of a trusted resource or you don't, but that's one of the amazing parts of this team. Absolutely. Like, Jim, is a lot of the stuff that gets put out for folks is not money making. And the money's built in the relationships that are forged, the trust that is forged. And then when you have need for, hey, the opportunity in the business ventures that are the specialized from the team members, then you go to them. And there's an understanding that comes in the future. Yeah. It's all about building the relationships, helping the community, and the money comes. And the team is like-minded like that.
Speaking of the money coming, there's a guy named Nate.
Powerball tonight.
On Facebook. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
There's a guy named Nate who's a big fan of the show. and he helped contribute to pay for the computer for the Knights of Pythagoras Mentoring Network, otherwise known as KOPMN. Just rolls off your tongue. Almost as good as Florida Talk Real Estate. Right?
Almost.
So anyway, what we did is we raised money, and Nate was so nice to donate to get a computer for these kids with this group, which is a group for extracurricular activities to teach kids about the world is bigger than just their neighborhoods. And they just try to give them immersion in all different kinds of experiences. And they started a podcast on Facebook like 7 years ago, and have not quit. Every week they're there every week like we do. And we know that sacrifice that it takes to do that, dedication. And these are like middle school kids and young high school kids. So their computer was so shot, they were really having a hard time producing the show. So we got them this week it came in, we got them an Apple MacBook that's going to be perfect for the type of thing. So excellent. Everybody out there, including Nate, thank you so much for contributing. Ross contributed a lot of money, and really appreciate the help from the community. And that's what this, just remind you all the things that you're seeing. You're seeing people helping people, and then you're seeing people in need right now. That church is doing a really big service over there by helping all those people. So just remember to count your blessings in this time of the holiday. It's really important to do that.
Yeah. Moments of gratitude can go a long, long way. It's a big key to, I think, happiness in life is really appreciating what you have.
Yeah. It's really important. Just want to go over a couple other things. Here's another gratitude thing. This is our gratitude to other people. I put out an email last week, plus I've been asking on the air to give us Florida Talk Real Estate Google reviews. I don't know if you remember, but a couple of months ago, I had somebody that was upset with the closing. It wasn't my customer, it was the other side's customer, but somehow they got mad at the seller, and it turned in that I was the bad guy. Really, it's the only person that the buyer could reach out, affect. So they wrote a bunch of bad reviews about me, and I don't really ask for reviews. I don't really have that many reviews because I don't ask for it. So now I'm asking. So anybody, if you can go out to Florida Talk Real Estate, even if you never did a real estate deal with us, you might have called for insurance advice, or you just like the show. Let people know about our show. Go over there and like the Google reviews. We got a lot of reviews from the request, and thank you every single one that has given that. I really appreciate it. Don't know how much it means to us.
Yeah, when we say like and share, the algorithm picks that stuff up. Like, you really can help out the team to spread the message a little bit by doing that. And I know a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm inundating my people. Don't feel that way, because you can change lives.
It doesn't cost anything either.
It doesn't. No, it's real simple.
Sure.
It is. Yeah, it's remarkable what you can do with just a couple of clicks. And again, you never know who's in your circle there that's going to see it, because everybody doesn't discuss all the details of their life. You don't know that, hey, I'm spending a lot of money on this or that, or I need this, or again, the details. We don't get all that from our folks, and you can change lives by giving them the pros. Give them the roadmap. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Like and share on those platforms. Again, you never know. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
Let's go into, we're going to get into today, and this is, I think, going to be very helpful to everybody. What I'm really trying to do is find subjects that help people save money in today's market. Let's just do a little quick overview of what's happening in the market, but we are going to do the market report. The South Florida monthly year-over-year market report came out on Thursday, so we're going to talk about where we are in the 11th month of the year. And why I say that, it's the November report, because you can't get December until December's done.
Right.
So we're going to talk about what happened in the first 11 months of the year after the break. And we're also going to talk about saving money and understanding how insurance works here in Florida, and some tips and tricks about it. And I'm going to ask Ross some questions that a lot of consumers have, so that he can give good advice to that. And really look forward to that.
Awesome.
But let's just talk about the economy in general, just really quick, if you don't mind. And the first thing I want to say is that the interest rates have been tremendously stable for quite a long time. I haven't seen rates this stable. I don't know the last time I've seen rates this stable since we've been on this show, for which January 7th will be 13 years. I don't know where we've had a more stable. We're at 622 again. We went down 0.01. We've been in the 6.2s now for a month, but we've been between 6.5 and 6.25 for like 6 months. And if you go up to 6.86 to 6.25, a half a point difference roughly, that has been going on for 9 to 10 months. Bless you, Johnny. And despite that, we're not seeing the buyers come flooding back to the market in general. In fact, this year, I just saw a report yesterday. If this report is true, they're projecting that we're going to sell 4.13 million homes in the United States this year. In 2012, which was the worst real estate market for sales, number of sales up to that point, and ever since that until the last 2 years, was 4.58, and we're at 4.13. So think about that. The Great Recession, we were selling more homes during the Great Recession at the lowest point of the Great Recession than we are right now. But prices aren't dropping that much.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know what's amazing is the dichotomy, the difference in the value of your home between 2012 and 2025.
Exactly.
It's a remarkable difference.
Exactly. And the funny part, not funny part, but the other interesting part is we're probably about right around the interest rates that people were paying in 2012.
Right.
Right. So,
but that's totally the difference.
The homes were literally 60% less than they are now.
Yep. And they didn't have 3% engraved in their brain.
Exactly. They didn't have that sugar rush. They're still addicted to the meth, right? They got the meth thing. They got to have the meth. I got to get the 3%, right?
But how about South Florida compare? I mean, because South Florida, it's a different animal. I mean, it feels like things have gotten a tiny bit better.
I don't want to give away too much because I want to do the whole segment, but I can give you little tidbits on it. So the first thing is that we did have a little bit of a surprise of good news in this month's report. And while the numbers on the values of the home, of actually what your house is worth, while it looks pretty good, I'm going to show you why we've already gone through part of a haircut already, and people don't realize it, that we've already seen a haircut in South Florida, although it isn't being really recognized nationally. And I'm going to show you why later, why the national people aren't saying what I'm saying. And I'm going to show you why I say it my way. Well, and I think most people are going to agree that my way is the way to look at it if you're considering you need the true value of your home at that moment.
I'll tell you what, if anybody has a drip set up, I do. We've been, in the market to buy a very specific unit for our family.
The unicorn.
Yes. But
not really.
But it's not one that's just everywhere on the MLS. I have a really consistent drip, Port St. Lucie to Lake Worth, Boynton, and I can see it.
Mm-hmm. You can see. Yep,
I can see it. Yep. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. I see the listings. I see the asking price, and I pay attention to it. And I see the market shifting a little bit. It's not dramatic, but it's happening.
Now here's some things. There's some stuff came out in the last week about the national economy, and anybody that listens to the show knows that we don't get into red and blue or even purple. Okay. I don't want to deal with it. Your opinion is your opinion. My opinion is my opinion. Never going to change it. That's, you study any social studies about human behavior. Once they're locked in on their politics, which they get from their family when they're growing up.
Sure.
It hardly ever changes no matter what.
Yeah. It's going to take something massive.
yeah. Right. It has to be something crazy. So I don't like getting into politics. So let's just talk about the fact, just very briefly, just to set the foundation later. Here's a couple of things to consider. We just had that inflation report came out, right? It was 2.7. Here's some questions about whether that report is totally legit or not, like on numbers, because we did have that shutdown for a very long time. But we have to use the figures that we got at this moment, right? So we're at 2.7 went for inflation rate.
I think most consumers don't agree with the number, but they laid it out when they put it out. They're like, look, these are the numbers we have.
Right.
And you probably don't feel this, but
we'll have a better, clearer idea on the next report.
Right.
But you got to use what you got. So let's just assume the 2.7 is right. I don't think it's 3.5 right? I don't think it's like that. So if it's off, it probably isn't off by leaps and bounds, right? No. So let's just assume it's right? Because you have the federal government workers that have been doing this since I think the 1940s or something, right? So that's the way they do it. They came out 2.7. So let's just take it at that. 2.7 is not a bad inflation rate when it took us over 18 months to get from 9% in like 2023 or something like that, 9%, all the way down to just under 3% before this January, right?
Well, the Fed feels exactly the way you do. It's not a bad rate. That's why we're lowering the Fed rate, because they're more concerned about jobs than inflation.
Right, they're more worried about jobs. So the inflation rate, no matter, I'm not saying that people shouldn't be complaining about cost of living. They were doing that, before January and after January. Doesn't matter the politics of it. They're saying stuff is too darn high. So the problem is that inflation rate is not really a big factor, because 2.7, they want to get down to 2. To me, it's like they've been trying to get down to 2 for a long time. And when we were 6 years ago, we were at 1.4% inflation, and everybody was complaining it was too low. And they wanted to get it up. So 2.7 over 2.0, it's not bad. Then the unemployment. So the unemployment rate, we started at the beginning of the year at 4%. Now we're at 4.6%. Is that a big deal or not a big deal? And I'm not sure. This is why. And I'm an unemployment guy. That's what I keep my eye on the most, sure. Right? The most of the thing I'm worried about for the future economy, if people are employed, they're going to make their payments on whatever they got to pay.
We'll spend if we have it.
Yeah, but if people get unemployed for any period of time, any longer period of time than a few months, then we're going to have, and if it's a large amount of people, we're going to have problems. Mm-hmm. So I keep an eye on that. But is 4% to 4.6% over, let's say, a year, right, from January till right now, is that a big deal? I'm not so sure, and let me tell you why. I don't like the trend that it's going that way, but we did have a lot of layoffs for the federal government. But more importantly than that, to me, is that I remember when Clinton was president and we were under 4% unemployment, and everybody was having a conniption fit because there wasn't enough fluidity in the market, because it was too constrictive, because we had too low of an unemployment rate. And it was costing the employers too much money to bring in the employees.
Well, the interesting thing is
4% now is like people are freaking out.
You think there's fluidity in the market at 4.7% or whatever? No, I don't feel like there is.
No, I feel like I think there was fluidity until maybe the last 18 months or so, and maybe not even 18 months, maybe even less.
That's the concerning part for me. And as the number goes up, the fluidity doesn't exist.
Where am I going to land my next job?
Right.
I'm very worried about that too. Right. So I don't think we're there yet to say that the whole thing collapsed, like the economy's collapsed.
No.
But we're teetering on the edge of one way or the other. It could go up, and that's what I'm hoping it will do. But there are concerning signs. But is it as doom and gloom as everybody's making it out to be? Most of that is politics in my mind.
I always pay attention to our spending and what people are doing. And right now I think the Christmas numbers are going to indicate, once we finally get there, is that I think the spending's still in play. We were at the Hard Rock last night. We had a concert last night. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen, look, that place is always busy. Mm-hmm. Always. I haven't seen it like that ever. And it wasn't like
packed or not packed.
Packed.
Nice.
It was you had to go straight to the top of the 9th Florida Park. Packed. And it's, again, always busy. Always. I've never seen it not busy.
9th floor busy, right?
Right. But I walked in, was like, wow, this is an insane amount of people. I know it's season. Like, I get we have the max amount of people here right now. It's kind of that holiday time. Like, it really is the perfect time. But that's an indicator to me that we're still kind of, we're floating along pretty good. Everything seems to have a lot of folks out spending their money. That to me is always a good sign. Now, Is it responsible spending of their money? Yeah, that's a different beast.
Good for the Seminole Indians.
Yeah.
What's that?
Good for the Seminole Indians.
Yeah, their economy's just rocking, right? They're
crushing it.
Yeah.
Crushing it. And they're like, yeah, and you don't even get to see the app. They're all on the app too.
I know they are.
Oh, that's a whole different beast.
Oh, I read somewhere where some states are making so much money off of taxes off of those gambling apps. And now they're thinking, now other states are like, hey, I think I want to be part of that now. That we're against gambling. Now they're like, oh, the apps. We want the apps because the tax money.
Yeah, for sure.
That's weird.
Yeah. I never thought of that. Isn't that weird? Apparently, they're making a lot of money.
I like it for the freedom part. Like, whether you want to gamble or not, I like the ability to be able to do what you want. But it's a revenue machine.
Yeah. Funny how the revenue breaks down the
barriers.
That wall. Yeah, that moral wall.
It really does. Yes.
Just ask Roger Goodell. Gambling, we can't have gambling in sports.
DraftKings.
Oh, wait a minute here. Ka-ching.
Hard Rock.
Tell me about the revenue.
Hey, let's go ahead and take a break. On the flip side, we're gonna before we get into the monthly market report, I really want to get in insurance and teach people some things and explain what's really happening down here in real life, not what you read in the headlines, and ways to save money and understand when you're buying or you're selling how your insurance might affect the condition of your home might affect the sale of the property.
Very good. Lots to get into. We are live on this Saturday. It's the 20th of December. Happy holidays to you and yours. And look, if you're buying a home, selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, you have a need that touches the world of real estate. This is a team of pros collected here, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. The one-stop real estate shop for a reason. That's what we call it. You get a team of pros, like-minded, that work cohesively together. And you don't have to have a need for the entire team. Specific need, reach out, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. There's a contact. You can call the hotline. You'll find it at FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. 888-973-7828. If you prefer to pick up the phone, go ahead and do that. It's answered by a live body 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com on Facebook, on YouTube. Share away, consume away. And remember, when you're in need, you got the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. Florida Talk Real Estate right here. It's Real Radio.
We're everywhere you need to be. Find your favorite show at realradio921.com. Here's the latest with weather on Real Radio.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl from CBS 12 News. We are expecting a very pleasant rest of your Saturday ahead. Temperatures getting into the upper 70s, lower 80s, just a few degrees cooler than where we were yesterday thanks to the cool front that moved through. A mix of sun and clouds and an isolated rain chance along the coastline for the rest of the day.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get 500 points for logging in to the Lowe's app for the first time. Take advantage of all your Pro benefits today. Valid 12/1/25 to 1/7/26. Offer valid for first login only. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/terms for more details.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
You're listening to Real Radio 92.1. And we are an iHeart radio station. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, there it is, 877-927-6969. If you have a question, a comment, a concern in the world of real estate, if you'd like to be involved in the conversation at hand, phone lines are operable from what I can hear. Timothy's checking them. They're good. At least a couple of them work.
Mm-hmm.
We only need one, truly.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can make your call. You're welcome to. Of course, if you're not comfortable on the radio, believe me, I understand. You can reach out to the team. Florida Talk Real Estate on Facebook, on YouTube, net.com. Very important. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Timothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my dude?
Hello, and good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Johnny C., that's me, your old buddy, your old pal. We got Ross Komarinetz right over here. He's with Brightway Insurance. Juno Beach. What's up, Ross?
Not a whole lot. Beautiful Saturday morning.
Yeah, it's the last like probably solid week. It's just been windows open. The humidity's nice and low.
Been a little warm during the day.
Yeah.
I felt like this last couple of days.
You get a little sweaty?
Yeah. I mean, it's December. It's Christmas. We need just a little bit of a chill. I got to put my Christmas jammies on.
Well, my jam, do you have footies?
No, I don't have footies.
No footies?
No, my feet get too hot.
Yeah, they do.
I got to keep my feet out like under the covers when I sleep.
Kicking them off.
Keep them exposed.
Yeah. Do you go like kick it off, throw it back on, kick it off, throw it back on?
No, feet exposed. Got to be exposed.
How cold do you keep the room?
I think like 70, 71 or something.
Oh, that's a good little chill.
Yeah.
Nice. It's always good to see you in your hot feet. Ooh, hot Ross.
Ooh, hot Ross.
Yeah. Yeah, you can change it to hot feet.
Hot feet.
Yeah.
Yes. That feels like a
hot
feet.
feels like a website we could capitalize on.
Sorry, it's taken.
Is it already?
It's taken.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very niche, but I think there's pretty.
We could sell that
There's
easy.
a good segment in that niche. Yeah, really, truly.
Especially when you see the size of his feet.
Wow, paddles.
Bingo.
Damn. And he gets a petty too.
Don't walk on water.
Jimmy D is right over here. Jim DePola is our fearless leader. Just about 13 years now, I've said. He runs our top producing fellow Williams team. Yeah.
Wow, so
I say
crazy.
13 plus, and I'm like, wait a minute. 12 plus would be more accurate.
Yeah, 12 plus, but I didn't mind.
Yeah, I don't either.
I felt like
Hey.
it sounded better, right?
Hey, if that's the only thing I fudge, it's not bad. That and my age.
Like adding an inch.
Inch. Who can tell an
Or
inch?
two.
If you can tell an inch, we got problems.
Bingo. Speaking of big feet.
Funny.
Florida Home Pros, Keller Williams Innovations. There's Jim DePola. Hi.
Hey, good. I wanted to go over today like a primer on Florida homeowners insurance and understanding it. I want to talk about some of the things that are most commonly asked about insurance from a realtor perspective, like when people come to me. And we got the expert here, right? Ross Komarinetz from Brightway Insurance to give us all the real deal of what it's really like without all the hype and the spin and all that. So the first question I wanted to ask you, Ross, is that I know that we've talked about this before, but I think it's important, is when people go, oh, the only policy I qualify for is Citizens. What exactly is Citizens insurance, and how is it different than other types of insurance policies that you can buy on the open market for your home?
I mean, Citizens is just a regular insurance company. They abide by the same laws and regulations as, XYZ quote unquote private insurance company. The only real difference is they're actually a not-for-profit. So that's kind of like true insurance, right? There's no profit to be made. Everything what you put in is, there is to go to repairs and things like that.
Why do you think it got, because a lot of people have bad reputation about it, and I haven't really seen anything that would give it that bad reputation. Why do you think people have a bad why it has a bad reputation amongst people?
Because when it was first created, it was considered to be the insurer of last resort. Like if you couldn't get anything else, you had to get Citizens. That was your only option. So I think that it got a negative connotation because typically the homes that were insured with Citizens weren't great homes. But that wasn't the case either. They could have just been coastal homes.
Risk.
Just high risk.
Yep.
So it had that negative connotation. And then, of course, anything Citizens related, because it's kind of government. That's always a big news thing. But they buy reinsurance. They do all the same things as a regular insurance company. The one thing that is kind of bad is with Citizens, you kind of get what you get. Right. You get your dwelling coverage, you get your other structures, you get your personal property, your loss of use, your liability, and your medical payments. But some of those coverages are like your liability is limited to 100,000. You can't increase it to 300,000, and 300,000 of liability is kind of the standard in Florida. You can't increase your mold coverage. You can't add little endorsements to it or really change a lot of things. You kind of get, hey, we got your house covered for what it needs to be covered for. And, kind of that's it. There's no extra bells and whistles.
So the question I guess I have about that is why question I have is Citizens Insurance, who was created to be to fill a gap for other companies that wouldn't insure the home so that the homes could get mortgages, right? Basically, that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
And how do you determine that you have to go to, not have to, but how do you determine whether a Citizens policy is the best for you or private insurance companies? Like, how do you get to the point where you end up at Citizens, I guess is what I'm asking.
It could be anything from a Federal Pacific breaker box, could be cloth wiring, aluminum wiring. It might be that the shingle roof is 20 years old, but still there's a 4-point that said it has 5 years of life left. Could be a claim scenario. There's a bunch of different ways you end up there. But if you don't have any of those deficiencies and Citizens is quote unquote the best premium for you, in order to qualify for Citizens, there must not be a private carrier that's within 20%. So even if the Citizens is the lowest, you may have to pay at least 19% more than that, if that makes any sense.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Johnny, how's your insurance gone up over the last couple of years? And are you on Citizens or do you have a different type of policy now?
Yeah, no, it's different. I couldn't tell you my carrier, unfortunately.
That's okay.
Yeah, we got depopped.
Did you?
Yeah.
Depopulated?
Depop. Yeah. So that program, I'm sure Ross could probably put it more articulately, but if you got within the 20%, you got letters in the mail from Citizens like, hey, here's a company that, fits the parameters, and you kind of get shifted over. So when that happened to us, I want to say
couple of years. It was like
Maybe-
Yeah, I
3
remember
years
it was
2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember we talked about it a couple years ago.
And
Maybe
then-
2 years.
And did you see your premiums? Well, obviously went up because you got
It did,
Depop,
but it
so-
wasn't. It wasn't a 19% pop. It was smaller
Okay.
than that.
Oh, good. And
Yeah.
then have you seen it go up or down, or you're not sure?
Yeah, it stayed pretty consistent, but it did go up considerably in like the first big jump. But
And then it kind
It's
of
really
flattened
leveled
out,
off.
like it
Yeah.
might have increased, but not crazy.
yep, and I just got to I just got to fire off an email to Ross and get him my deck my deck page and see where we're at. And that's just got to happen.
So, so with Citizens, you're usually going there because there may be a deficiency, and I'm putting deficiencies in quotes now, right? A deficiency of the house. You have an electrical panel that doesn't meet today's codes. You have aluminum cloth wiring, aluminum wiring. Your roof is too old, right? Those kind of things. You live too close to the water. All of those kind of things. That's how you end up at Citizens. And then we've seen Citizens. When we started the show, we had almost 1 million people on Citizens, and then it went down to like 500,000. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like in 2018 or something, maybe a little earlier, 2016, it seemed like more and more people were coming on to Citizens. Am I wrong about that?
It was 2020.
Oh, it was
Started in
2020? So
Yeah.
tell me about that.
So right now, those are kind of like the things you were talking about that kind of make you qualify for Citizens. That's kind of right now. We're not writing a lot of Citizens policies unless it's that. But over the last 5 years, we wrote a lot of Citizens policies just because their rates are capped at how much they could increase every year. And so their premiums were kind of artificially low compared to what the private market could offer, because the private market was increasing 40, 50, 80%. So the good news is we are not seeing as many Citizens policies today, unless it is those characteristics that you mentioned. But it was in 2020 when things started with Citizens when things started moving to Citizens, because that's in kind of April of 2020, we started talking about, man, we're seeing a lot of these crazy rate increases. I don't know,
Mhm.
I'm not sure what's going on, but
You look like you wanted to commit Harry Carey after a while.
yeah, about a year into that, it was
Yeah.
rough. But we had started seeing it and started talking about it. And I remember kind of doing a little report. And in 2020, I think I had like 250 Citizens policies on my books.
Mhm.
And then in the summer of 2021, I had like 1,700
Wow.
That's
Wow. 5 times now, yeah.
in a year. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. And then
And you know what kind of stinks for Citizens though, unfortunately? It got a negative connection. The connotation was negative for really all the wrong reasons, right? Because it's a blessing that you can even get that coverage. And then you get back to this like swing to where you're like, man, thank goodness for Citizens, for so many of us, me
Yeah.
included. And it never reaped the benefit of like, man, thank goodness for Citizens. When it always should have been that way. It should have
yeah,
never
it's like
been
people
negative.
hated it.
Yeah.
They hated it, but it saved their
if you
butt
hate-
at the same time.
If you hate it because you're like, well, the state's involved with it, I just don't want anything tied in with the government. It's like, okay, I can get that. But it is. That's the way it is. And thankfully it's there. But it's been nothing but a benefit for those that have been able to.
Absolutely.
Really
And
I
there's
mean,
just no positive that comes from it for them, but sadly.
yeah. I mean, we were saving people $2,000
Yeah.
off of their renewal to go with Citizens.
Substantial money.
Yeah. And
It-
I mean, if they weren't there, I mean, our market would be a whole lot worse.
That's what I was going to say. That from the realtor perspective, the whole market would have, I don't want to say the whole market, but a significant portion of the market would have collapsed. And it wouldn't have mattered about your income or your situation. It was all about like the age and the condition of the house or the location of the house. And so what would happen is if we didn't have that safety net of having affordable insurance, what would happen? The house would be unaffordable for insurance. The mortgage company is like, hey, you got to have insurance. That's part of your agreement in the mortgage. And then what would happen? They would have to foreclose on the property or do forced place insurance while they're foreclosing on the property.
Well, definitely.
And that's what would have happened if we didn't have Citizens. So I agree with you, Johnny, that it was a really big help to our
Always has been.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. So now the reason, so then what happened was, so we saw these huge jumps in citizens, but we also saw a lot of companies, insurance companies that were fleeing Florida, right? We saw this exodus of people a couple of years ago, and they were saying that they couldn't afford to operate in Florida anymore. And then they started doing these analysis, which I think they've been doing, but it became more public because it was such a crisis, where they were saying they were mapping out how much Florida was spending for basically lawsuits and dealing with lawsuits versus actual real claims. And what were kind of the stats back then, Ross?
So it was Florida accounts for 8% of all property damage claims filed in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a bad number. Florida accounts for 80% of all property damage claims that result in a lawsuit.
That's a terrible number.
That is a terrible number. And that was the old number. This was kind of at the height of it, right?
When we had the big problem.
And then the other crazy statistic is, and I'm 90% sure it's $15 billion was paid out in claims that resulted in a lawsuit. So that's property damage, everything included in that $15 billion. As a percentage, how much went to pay the actual damage to the home itself to get it fixed out of that 15 billion?
I don't remember. I want to say, like you said, it was 2 or 3 billion.
It's 8%.
8%.
8% of the $15 billion actually
wow, that's like
paid
1.2
to repair.
billion.
That's yuck.
71% paid the plaintiff's attorney's fees, like Morgan and Morgan.
Oh, no,
that comes directly out of the insurance company's pocket. There's no reinsurance for that. And you can't underwrite how many times, underwrite, when I say that, I mean predict, have any sort of prediction of how much you're going to be, how often you're going to be sued, and then what that, what your liability number could be on those lawsuits. You just can't predict it.
Right.
So all the insurance companies you got to pay that in cash. And they just, we had 7 to 10 insurance companies go out of business.
And that was like a huge number. It wasn't like a little tiny.
It's crazy
percentage. It was
7 to 10. Out of business. And then the ones that stayed in business, had to charge for it. That's why we're seeing those 80% premium increases.
And some of them said, I don't want to insure in Florida.
Some said, yeah, we're just not going to write any new business right now. Some said, if we do, you better have, a 10-year-old or newer roof. Some companies said, we won't insure a roof that's more than 1-year-old. I mean, it was crazy.
I remember you saying that, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, things are getting so much better now.
It was all about trying to defend themselves against these, what they considered specious lawsuits. Now, the stats show that it probably was specious lawsuits, and I was wrong about the 1.2 million because it was 8% of 15 billion, right?
Whatever that number is. It's a lot.
15 billion. Yes. So 1.5 would be 10%. So like 1.2, 1.3 billion. That's it. That's disgusting. So, so we had, and the reason why that happened, okay, because I want to get in the next step of how we had this insurance crisis here at the time, was that the way that the laws were set up, that homeowners, if they didn't get the results that they wanted from their claim, not only could they go to a public adjuster and do that kind of stuff, but they also had the ability to sue. And I know this because I was one of the people that did sue my insurance company many years ago, right around all the time that this stuff was happening. And we felt like we weren't getting the money needed we had a flood in the house and we weren't getting the money needed, leak in the house. And we went through arbitration 2 or 3 times. It looked like we won, but the insurance agent didn't care, and they just kept pulling
not
us
the
back.
Agent.
I'm sorry?
You said the insurance agent didn't care.
Oh, I'm sorry. The insurance agency. The agency.
The agency. That's me.
No, I'm sorry.
Company.
The insurance company. Sorry about that. No, Ross actually went to mediation with us, which was awesome. Thank you, Ross. But anyway, we had a big fight with the insurance company, and we ended up kind of winning. We ended up kind of getting what we wanted at that point, pretty much. But it took us 18 months. The damage grew worse. We tried to stave it off as best we can. And we never, so what we ended up having to do was hire an attorney. And this is what the attorney said, because I was very nervous about hiring an attorney. It's like, what happens if we lose? What happens if we lose this lawsuit? And they said, hey, the insurance company gave you what you were supposed to get. What are our obligations in court if we lose? And he goes, under Florida law, as long as I get you $1 in claims, right? They're going to pay all my attorney fees. So all we have to do is get $1. And he goes, I guarantee I'm going to get you $1 from the insurance company. They already agreed to pay us something, right? So we were going to get something. So that's what happened. So we kicked in, and then we had this lawsuit. And then we went through this whole lawsuit. And then you know what we found out? In the binder for the insurance policy, you're not allowed to sue them. In my personal policy, we gave the right away to, we waived the right to sue. I guess you get a little cheaper insurance policy possibly.
A lot of companies are going with that mandatory arbitration.
Arbitration, yeah.
So what happened was our guy didn't get anything that we wouldn't have got anyway, and then he got paid. He got paid.
Yeah,
and the insurance company had to pay him. And I was like, that's not right. Even though I was I don't feel like the insurance company handled me 100% complete right, because it took so long to get where we needed to go.
So in this situation, the insurance company could have saved paying the attorney if they'd just handled the claim appropriately.
Yeah.
Right.
And I mean, that's what it became, is they'd get inundated with lawsuits and then just settle. But settle, they'd pay the attorney's fees and, just part of that settlement.
Yeah.
So
but it was such a big cost.
Kind of at their own fault. They're one worst enemy in a way.
And in a way, I also feel like it's also, to be fair, that other industries beat up on the insurance industries. For example, roofers will come knocking on your door and say, hey, remember that hailstorm from 1964? I think we can get you a new roof, right? And they bang on your door and they do that. Or you have an attorney saying, hey, don't worry about it. As long as I get $1, you don't have to worry about anything. Right?
You hear commercials on the radio.
Yeah.
I want to sue your insurance.
Yeah, I want to sue your insurance company.
Opening line.
So we had this big problem. We were spending way too much money on attorneys and legal costs and not enough money on fixing the houses. So in 2022, the state legislature came up with some rules and regulations that were passed. And can you go over the most important basics of that, Ross?
The most important thing is it changed how you could sue your insurance company. So basically, they did away with, hey, as long as I get you $1, don't worry about it. Now it's, if you want to sue your insurance company, unless it's for like breach of contract or something major, if you want to sue your insurance company, you have to hire the attorney, and that's coming out of your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can sue them for, hey, I need a new roof or something like that, but you're paying the attorney.
Yes. And when that regulation came out and it was passed, I'm giving Ross definitely kudos on this, right? Ross predicted what would happen in this cycle, the insurance cycle, after that law was passed. And you had predicted
that it was going to take at least 1.5 to 2 years to see, the fruits of that. And we're in that season right now.
We're harvesting.
We are harvesting. Absolutely.
We're harvesting. So, I don't want to get into specifics yet, of which I will. We're going to talk about some of the success stories you've had just recently, anecdotally. But so since that, I think it was last week, you had just read a report. It was was it a Department of Insurance report?
No, some kind of big national insurance company, had a research company put together analysis, a big report, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And what did they say in that report?
What I just said.
Right, exactly, right. Which is that it would take about 18 months or so to calm everything down and get the inflation gone.
So it's funny, they did it after the fact.
Yeah, Ross told us before. So all you had to do is, that's what I said last week. All you had to do is listen, us 18 months ago, we would have told you what would have happened.
And you explained to us it's because there were already lawsuits in the court system that had to work their way out, right? I mean, because it didn't just toss all of those that were already filed. Correct?
Those had to work its way out. And then they also had to see, okay, how, now that this law is placed into effect, how is it actually going to work? They've got to see, are we still going to be being sued every single day, with 30 lawsuits a day, or does this law actually work? And, we're not being sued the lawsuits are dropping. And so once all the lawsuits that were in the system got shaken out and the insurance companies realized that, okay, we're able to kind of hold on to our cash and not pay out these settlements all the time. Now we can get back to, they realized a point of profitability again. And so now that they're profitable, they're able to kind of look at their rates and do rate reductions. And because at the end of the day, the insurance companies would love a higher premium, but they're still in a competitive business where if your premium's higher, you're not going to get any money. And so they've got to somehow figure out how to be competitive with their premium. So you're starting to see all these premiums come down again. A lot better.
And then you couple that with, maybe a good season for hurricane here, specifically in Florida. Like, and if we can get nationally, like, hey, some reprieve and some fires in the West Coast, like you can really see the companies start to benefit from this. And it seems like that trickles to the consumer. I feel like the tug of war happens to both sides, right? When they suffer, we suffer. We're all in this together in a way. It'll be interesting to see. I think the true litmus test comes because we had a pretty good season, right, for hurricanes. I think the real litmus test comes if we have a lot of claims, and then you find out how those come together. Because now that the consumer has to come so far out of pocket to make sure that they're getting their claims paid, that's where the slippery slope comes in.
But part of the legislation too was there was more accountability for the insurance companies in the claims process. So it wasn't like they just got a free pass. No, it changed how quickly they have to respond.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about
that. So there was a protection for the consumer on the claim side too,
which is excellent. But the real test comes when we start to see a inundation of claims because of some natural disaster.
Well, I wanted to ask something that Johnny
everything else is coming together perfectly, though.
Yeah, everything's really coming along smooth. But Johnny had a good point because we had very little. We had no hurricanes in Florida this season. Yay, right? When will that kind of spill over? When will we see the positive benefits of that, if at all, like in future policies being written, premiums being written?
I mean, I would imagine the insurance companies right now are probably planning on lower reinsurance rates for this year, or maybe stable.
Didn't you just 2 weeks ago tell us you were setting some times to bind a policy, and there was one, like you gave us a look ahead. There was one company where if you actually set it a little bit later in the future, the premium came down because they're planning. Clearly, they're planning a rate reduction.
Yeah. So that happened, and also, I mean, I was just I got an email the other day that said. It was a response to like an email from a couple months ago where I was talking with one of my clients, and it said, "What is this?" And it was a payment that was sent out for like $4,200 or something. And so I was like, all right, well, let me see what that was. Like, what were we talking about? And like 2 months ago, she was asking me, hey, what is my renewal going to be? And I said, it's too early for me to tell you that. But right now you're paying like I forget what the number was, but it was $5,051. And then I said that $4,200 was your renewal payment. It went down by $800.
Sweet.
So
at that level when that happens,
right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're seeing it.
Awesome.
We're seeing it.
We're seeing it.
Even with Citizens, I see that they're predicting about a 2.6% decrease in policies next year.
That's great.
I mean, we're not doing a lot of them. A lot of them are being depopulated.
We're down to between 500. We were at almost 2 million. We're at 500 to 750,000 policies with Citizens right now. So we're getting down to that lower level that we were.
So let me ask a question. So Citizens, in a perfect world, would like to have zero policies, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So if they're planning to lower by 2.5%, because remember, they're only depopping.
Was that
20%?
Where I was going to go.
Right. So if they're planning to lower their prices, they know. They have to know that everybody's lowering their prices.
But did you say 2% rate decrease or policyholder decrease?
Rate decrease.
Oh, okay.
2.6% personal lines policies in 2026. It should be cut next year, and that's average statewide. Right. So that's
100% indication that, I mean, they have to have their finger on the pulse, right? they know everybody's going to be lowering there because they're not setting themselves up to have everybody come back to Citizens.
Right. And
Right.
they're, you know,
Exactly.
they're capped by, you know, how much they can increase. So one of the, you know, biggest things for primary residents, right, capped. One of their biggest things for the last few years was, hey, we're capped. We need to make up this money somewhere else, you know, in the secondaries or, you know, short-term rent, secondary homes, things like that. And now they're going to have by law, they can increase if they want.
Right.
But they're
going the other way.
Yeah, they're going the other way.
It really shows you the state
They're
of
not worried about like, hey, we need all this extra premium to cover this stuff.
Right. The state of the coffers.
Yeah.
And the look ahead for the industry, I think that really gives you a good snapshot of kind of where they feel like they're at. And that's got to be the most conservative approach because that's the safety net, right?
Yeah. And I mean, we're seeing, you know, get emails, hey, statewide decrease, 14% average.
If you're not shopping your policy, I mean, come on.
Yes, I mean it's and
FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
and Ross is statewide.
Yeah,
Ross is statewide.
I mean, we
anywhere in
saved
the
somebody like $2,000 yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, not all. Look, Brightway is a national. Like, is it national?
Yeah, we're in a lot of states now.
Yeah, but that's a known.
Now it is. Yeah,
but not all Brightways are the same. That's why we tell you Juno Beach. You get Ross on the team. It's elite, as we like to put it. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. You can get to the pros.
I have a question, Ross. There was a time a little while ago, and I think it was before the big spike, that you explained to us that even though obviously natural disasters do play a role, most of the time these insurance companies already have the money set aside for a disaster. So if we get a hurricane or two, that doesn't necessarily mean the increases are going to go right up just because we had a hurricane. Is there truth to that?
Well,
Is
theoretically.
that still there? Is there?
So that's reinsurance.
Right.
And so, you know, reinsurance is the insurance that the insurance companies buy on their risk exposure. So they have a deductible, right? So if it's $2.5 million deductible, okay, they got to know I need to have $2.5 million in the bank so that I can, if anything happens, I can, whatever, pay my deductible and my business will go on. What happened was leading up to, in 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, 22, they were being sued so much that that bank account that they had that deductible in kept on being drained. Next thing you know, they ran out of cash. But as far as like the claims, they're able to at least underwrite or the exposure. They're at least able to underwrite and predict what that will be and buy insurance for that, and that's a fixed cost.
Right. Okay.
So that if they're buying reinsurance for the 2026 hurricane season, it's a fixed cost. They know what that cost is, and they know what their deductible or cash reserve needs to be for that. And so as long as they can maintain that, everything's fine.
I wanted to go over, I thought this would be very educational for people. I want to go over a couple examples of how buying a house, selling a house, or just reinsuring a house, how your rates can be greatly affected and how to save money, right? And I'm going to give some real life examples that Ross was worked with our listeners here on the show and other customers he has and how it works, including Jimmy and Johnny. We just explained with Johnny that he did get depopulated from Citizens Insurance. He was one of those 2 million people that got kicked out of the program because there was another insurance company that was within a 20% range of where Citizens was. Once he went in there, he got a pretty big jump in insurance, but it's kind of flattened out over time, and it isn't like it's shocking anymore. You're not opening up your yearly bill and go, oh my gosh, I'm paying this right now, right?
Also, real quick, just because you're being depopulated, that does not necessarily mean an increase either. I've seen depopulation letters where the premium is going down.
Yeah, so you're just being, right, it could go either way.
So
but
it's not necessarily bad that you're being depopulated.
Right, it isn't like they're rejecting your house or something. They're saying, hey, you know, there's other insurers that would love to work with you. And
sometimes I get man, Citizens doesn't even want me anymore. I'm like, no,
That's
that's not it.
what happened. Citizens, the truth is, Citizens never wanted. They didn't want any of us. Right?
Yeah.
I would actually think when the Depop was first starting, most of the people that were Depopped were probably paying a little bit more. But I would think,
Now
gosh,
I'm
got to be
getting
at least
better,
50% or maybe paying less,
Yeah.
maybe more. I mean, who knows? But it's super competitive now. So
Yeah.
Now with Jimothy, he has a different experience, and I want to show that. So Johnny is an example of a real life owner of a home and dealing with insurance for a home he's owned for a long time. Jimothy, a couple of years ago, has it been 2 years now, Jimmy?
Yeah. In a new home.
So
New
2 years,
construction.
right? So 2 years. Can you believe it? So 2 years ago, you guys had lived in a house in Port St. Lucie. It was a smaller home. I think it was under 1,000 square feet,
Right
something like
1,000.
around there.
Yep.
Right. And it was an older home.
Mhm.
It was a nice home, but your insurance policy at the time, it was pretty high for such a small home because
Sure.
of the age of the home. What do you remember roughly?
It was around 3,200.
Yeah,
I do
something
believe,
like
a
that,
year.
right?
Yeah, it had gotten that high. Yeah, towards the end, and it had an old roof too. That
had an older roof.
Let's face it, that was probably the biggest.
That was
reason.
probably the
Yeah.
biggest thing. But
Mhm.
then what happened was you decided that you were going to buy new construction.
Yes.
So that year, it took a little while for the house to be built. So your insurance premium for the new construction went up a little bit from the time you went under contract to the time you closed. I remembered that.
Yeah. We got an estimate in July, but then when it came down to actually getting the policy 4 months later, 5 months later, that estimate had gone up a little bit, but still much less than what we were paying.
Would you
and
mind
it was
sharing roughly?
about 2,000?
Right. So
Yeah.
he saved $1,200 off the older house. Now, the older house was 900 square feet, had an older roof.
Mhm.
This was a brand new home. I think it was 16 and change under air and 221, 22 under roof.
1,900.
1,900 under roof?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's close.
Yeah.
So
Almost double.
yes, so
Almost double the size.
double the size, and he's paying, let's say 32 minus 12, he's paying almost a third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Less for a house that was double the size because it was new construction. This is one of the things I want to teach people that are thinking about selling their house and buying a new house. A lot of people, you'd be surprised, do not consider new construction when they go to buy a new home. And what you can normally find out is the insurance costs either will be a big reduction in your mortgage payment, like you had.
Sure.
Or if you were in a gated community or something, or a planned community, Jimmy bought a single family lot with no community, so no HOA.
Right.
But if you were in the HOA, a lot of times the insurance discount from resale versus new construction insurance will make up the difference of the HOA fee a lot of times, or more. What do you think about that? Am I off on that, Ross?
No, I think you're absolutely correct. Just kind of as you were talking, it was in my brain that yesterday we bound a $321 condo
Wow.
in Palm City.
Wow.
2006 construction.
Wow.
So it's newer, it's newish. So yeah,
But it's 20 years
300
old.
It's a
20
condo
years
too,
old.
but it's a condo. And those are going to be less, but yeah, $321.
$1. So I was trying to figure that comes out to like what, $25 a month.
That's,
Yeah.
Right? That's what he's paying. Like
Can I
$25 a month.
let me get one of them?
Yeah.
Got any
I'll
more
take-
of them
I'll take
$300?
Yeah, I'll take
You can give me a couple. Stack them. That's fine.
That's a good point. Well, let me go to the last thing. Then I want to ask you about condos. 'cause
No, but
they're a
yeah,
little bit
there is a drastic difference in new construction versus. I think I did new construction up in Jacksonville the other day for like 400 that were in there, or no, it was up in. No, I'm sorry, Johnny. It was actually in somewhere around Gainesville. Maybe it was like Newberry or
Oh,
something.
all right.
Something there. So, but I mean, still, that's your part of town. And it was like 400,000 in dwelling coverage. I want to say it was our premier, and it was $800 new construction.
Great.
$800.
Yeah. So if you're listening to this, you're up north and you think about buying in Florida and you think that insurance is the issue, there are ways to get really good policies.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Mhm.
When does that fall off that cliff? Like year 5, year 10? When?
What do you mean?
at $800 a year on that new
Oh, you mean like
construction.
if it keeps going down or something like that?
Yeah, like at some point they're like, yeah, we're not giving it to you for 800. Like, is it 10 years? Like,
I mean, it's whatever based on their
20 years?
rates, based on whatever rates they file with the state.
They're going to expect to hang on to that for a while then, I would guess, huh?
Yeah. I remember kind of like back in the day, some companies would have just like a minimum premium no matter what. Like if, it was $650 with this coverage. And even if you took all the other coverage, everything away, it was still $650.
Can you,
right?
so you know how you can like register your car for like 10 years or whatever? You can register your car like a bunch in advance.
Yeah.
Can I buy insurance for like a 5-year
for
block?
100 years?
Yeah. Can you do that? Be like, lock me in, I want 5 years of insurance.
It's a 1-year contract that is optionally cancelable by both parties. Now, I did tell you guys about how.
I wonder if that's a business that we should consider.
No. Remember, I told you can insure your. Remember last week? I think you were here. That there's a company that I received a mailer that you could insure whether or not you're going to have a premium increase.
Yes, you did talk about that.
Yeah, so you could pay like $100, $100.
Oh yeah, I called it gap insurance.
So
for
kind of,
premium increases.
Well, based on the fact that we know Citizens has played a
we're in a decline.
Yeah,
so,
we're in a decline. That is like a winning.
Yeah, you need to be shorting it.
Yeah.
Right now. You need to be shorting it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But
That's cool.
I just want to do the third prong. Okay, so we talked about resale. We talked about new construction versus resale. If you were like buying. Okay, now the third thing is I got a house and I just put a new roof. It's an older home, right? 20 years or older. And I just put a new roof on. You had just done a deal a couple of weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. I'm sure you do this all the time, where the customer went to their insurance company they already had and said, hey, I put a new roof on, and they gave them a discount, but then you shopped the house to other companies because it had the new roof, and you saved that company $5,000. So, I mean, that the homeowner, not the company, you saved the homeowner $5,000 by just shopping it around. And they already had a company that was giving them a discount for the new roof, but the new company was giving them a way better deal. So tell me about that. Like, because people can save a lot of money this way, and I'm trying to help people save money.
Yeah. I mean, just because you put a new roof on and told your current insurance company that you have a new roof and, that rescinded the cancellation notice or whatever, and, they gave you a little bit of a break or, updated your policy and gave you a discount for it. There might be, and there's a good chance that there's another company out there that's going to like your new roof better than your current company.
So you got to shop this around.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you put
what,
on a new roof, you need to shop it.
What are the kind of upgrades? Is there any other kind of upgrade to your house to make it hurricane protected or something that will give you as big a bang a buck as putting on the new roof?
Like if I bubble wrap the whole thing.
Yeah.
Put a big pillow on top.
Now, I mean, right now, roof is the most important part, the age of that roof. As far as premium goes, we can still get coverage on an older roof. So the market is becoming better. It used to be if your roof was over 10 years old, it was, okay, we only kind of have one option. This is the premium, take it or leave it.
Which is so frustrating because there's almost no product out there as long as the roof isn't like, have something crazy related, like a tree scraping on it all day long or something, or it's baking in the sun and doesn't have any shade. But most roofs can last way past 10 years unless they get damaged by like a windstorm or something, right? But the insurance companies don't take that into consideration. You don't know how frustrating it is as a realtor. How old your roof?
They stopped taking that in because they used, before that, the guidelines were kind of very wide. Everybody took a 20-year-old shingle. Not most people were fine with a 20-year-old shingle roof, never had to prove the amount of useful life was left. They were just cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
But then they started getting, my roof is old. I need a new roof. The guy just knocked on my door and told me he could get me a new roof for free.
Because of the hailstorm in 1964.
Yeah. So I'm just going to, instead of me paying for my roof, I'm just going to have the insurance company pay
let
for
the
it.
insurance company pay for the
And
roof.
so that's why they all said, all right, dude, we're not taking a roof more than 10 years old.
So
Sorry.
these are all really great tips on how to save money My last question is about that third nail thing. Is third nail still important for people? And explain what that whole concept is about hurricane strapping on the house.
So in section number 4 of the wind mitigation report, which is the roof to wall connection, is how your roof is actually attached to the house itself. Everybody's heard of hurricane strapping and things like that.
I got Gorilla Glue.
I've seen the commercials. You're fine.
I used the gel.
Yeah.
Or what's the black stuff that he pitches that you can seal the screen?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Maybe add some of that too.
All right. I'm going to put it on my roof, save some money.
There's technically 3 types of straps, hurricane straps. One is a clip, which is a metal connector that comes out of the wall and just attaches to the roof truss with a minimum of 3 nails.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is a single wrap, which is a metal connector that comes out and it actually wraps over the truss, and there's 2 nails on the front and 1 nail on the back. So it's got to have 3 nails.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's double wraps, which is basically 2 single wraps. So just double the single wrap.
Right.
A lot of the times it used to be a lot of the times, the roofers would get kind of lazy when putting in the nails. So maybe on the clip or the strap, they just put 2 nails in it. And so when you go in the wind mitigation report, in order to qualify for a discount for that section, the metal connector must have a minimum of 3 nails. And so you might have the metal connector there with just 2 nails in there, but you're not going to get the discount for that section.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a huge discount.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are companies out there like Third Nail of the Palm Beaches that will climb up in your attic and get down in there, and they'll put all the extra nails in your metal connectors.
Thanks to Ross, we referred out that company, Third Nail of the Palm Beaches, many, many times. They were great customer service, very honest, can give you so much information over the phone before you even get out there. Just a really great company.
Yeah, and then your savings just start to mount.
So much. And we had one guy, now this is years and years ago, but we had one guy, I think he paid under $1,500 to do the wrapping. And he saved something like $6,000 a year.
That.
Remember that guy? And he saved something. So like 1 quarter, he saved, the first year he saved the $1,500 that he spent plus another $4,500.
That's amazing.
It's pretty crazy. So there's really a lot of opportunities out there for insurance and a lot of savings. If you have questions, it's complicated here in Florida. We are Florida.
Yeah.
By the way, I have a website that I don't use, but I pay for it. I come up with ideas and I buy these websites. I have one called Welcome to Florida, DUH. I'm going to use it for something someday. I don't know what. I don't know what yet. So, but the funny part is I got a call from a reach out from GoDaddy saying, are you interested in buying Florida? Just Florida.com. So how much do you think GoDaddy wanted to charge me to buy the Florida.com? My website cost me $14.99.
$12,000.
$12,000. What do you think?
$200.
1,000.
$50,000 is what they wanted. $50,000. Can you imagine? I was like, nah, I think I like Welcome to Florida a lot better. $14.99.
Yeah. So
pretty crazy.
Right when I kidded and talked about using Gorilla Glue instead of 3 nails on my straps, you mentioned Flex Seal.
Yes,
That's
what it is.
Yeah. So
I made a boat out of that.
amazing commercials where they put the Flex Seal like on the bottom of the house, and then they show like a flood and none of the water comes in on the Flex Seal. You think if we Flex Sealed the hell out of your house, like the insurance company would be like, I like it.
Maybe for flood insurance. That might be your discount on flood insurance. The Flex Seal discount.
I mean, that's just gotta matter, doesn't it? Can I get the Flex Seal checked off there, please?
Well, since we're there, let's just bring this up, okay? Because it happens all the time. Somebody's got a cement roof or a flat roof, and then they put that poly mastic over it where they roll the stuff. It's white usually, and they roll it over the roof. And it's like, hey, it says it's going to extend my life 10 years on the roof. And I go, yeah, that's not going to work for the insurance company. Am I right about that?
So some companies have just kind of an age of flat roof, no matter what. So if your flat roof is over 10 years old, doesn't care if, you receive whatever, they're just say, sorry, it's ineligible. Company like Citizens or maybe another company, as long as it's got at least 5 years of life left, they'll be okay with it. But
what about when you do it on the cement tile roof? like in Leisureville, you know what I'm talking about, like those white cement tiles, and then you put that elastomeric paint over it to stop it from leaking.
I mean, you're going to have, again, the companies that are just going to have like a hard no on the actual age of the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And then companies that, like Citizens, who's going to say, hey, as long as you got 5, if it's old, you got to submit it to them and they've got to actually look at it and approve it. But typically, as long as it's in good shape,
they'll take it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go ahead, if you don't mind. Let's go ahead and take a break. On the flip side, we're going to talk about what happened in the market this past month in November. Did we have a good market, bad market as far as sales and prices and what's going on over there?
Excellent.
We're going to take a look at all that.
Very good. Still about 30 minutes remaining on a Saturday. You're welcome to join us if you're interested in the conversation. Of course, if you have a question, a comment, concern, plenty of time remaining. 877-927-6969. But always remember, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com, your one-stop real estate shop. When you're buying a home, selling a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do, you really need professional guidance. And you might know people in the industry. The reality is even the people you love might not be great at what they do. They might be good at what they do. But when I'm doing some big things, like with my house, you want people that are great at what they do. Remember, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. On Facebook and YouTube, lots to consume, share away. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of Florida TalkRealEstate.com. We're back in 4 minutes. Thanks for being with us every Saturday. It's the 20th of December. Happy holidays from Florida Talk Real Estate right here on Real Radio.
When you give up trying to teach your parents how to use their smart speaker and take it home, tell your smart device to play Real Radio 92.1 on iHeartRadio. Real Radio weather.
I'm meteorologist Charlotte Carl from CBS 12 News. We are expecting a very pleasant rest of your Saturday ahead. Temperatures getting into the upper 70s, lower 80s, just a few degrees cooler than where we were yesterday thanks to the cool front that moved through. Mix of sun and clouds and an isolated rain chance along the coastline for the rest of the day.
This report is sponsored by Audible. Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. Fall for a brooding dupe. Dive into a steamy romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas. Or find the perfect rom-com from Lily Chu. Start listening free when you sign up for a 30-day trial at audible.com.
Hey, it's your boy Johnny C here, host of Florida Talk Real Estate. They're tops when it comes to helping people buy and sell houses. But Florida Talk Real Estate is so much more than that. For 5 years, I've watched these guys help thousands of our listeners with any real estate need. They couldn't do it without their sponsors, who are experts in their fields. Check it out. Jim DePola, powered by Keller Williams Realty. Their team specializes in helping people sell their house for top dollar, and buyers get great deals on the purchase of their home. That's what they did for me and my family, and I couldn't be happier that I hired them for my real estate transaction. Mike Rao from the mortgage firm is one of our favorite guests on the show, and he is the mortgage guy. Whether you're looking for a refi or a mortgage to purchase a new home, Mike Rao will get you the answers you need. The mortgage firm is licensed to do loans in Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia, and they have local offices that cover all of South Florida. So if you're thinking about a refi or a new mortgage, go to the mortgage guy, Mike Rao, and find out what he can do for you. The Mortgage Firm, Inc., NMLS 189233, Florida license MLD 78, equal housing lender. The law office of Paul A. Krasker has been specializing in real estate law for nearly 25 years and has the professional team you need. Upside down with your house, Paul's team can help you conduct short sales, loan modifications, even if you're behind on payments. They also help you with foreclosure defense and bankruptcy. They can even help you get a student loan modification and repair your credit to get the score you need. Paul's full-service team has helped thousands of our listeners, and they can help you too. Trident Title LLC is the largest privately owned title company in Florida. When you need a title company to complete a refi, home purchase, or sale, Trident Title has got you covered. Not only do they offer competitive pricing, Trident Title has attorneys on staff to make sure if you have bumps in the road declaring title that you can get the job done. Beware, not all title companies in Florida have attorneys on staff. Trident Title does and complies with all the new federal regulations released last year. Ross Komarinetz, owner of Brightway Insurance, has been helping our listeners get great rates on homeowners insurance plans. Haven't checked your homeowners insurance policy in a while? This is a great way to help reduce your monthly mortgage payment. Ross can also help with renters and auto insurance. Ross is only a phone call away and can usually get the answers you need same day.
Call Ross today at 561-425-6228 or drop by his office at 873 Donald Ross Road in Juno Beach.
So now you know why I'm happy to be part of the Florida Talk Real Estate Show, the longest running real estate show in Florida. And all these sponsors are just a phone call or a click away. Just call 888-973-7828. That's 888-973-7828. Or go to floridatalkrealestate.com. That's floridatalkrealestate.com. And don't forget to use the most accurate search engine to find your new home or ask for a free home valuation because floridatalkrealestate.com has you covered. That's floridatalkrealestate.com.
From the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
Have you been in an accident? Call Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Real Radio 92.1 is WZZR West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeartRadio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good. This is Florida Talk Real Estate with Jim DePola and Johnny C. Got a question for the show? Call us live at 1-877-927-6969.
Yeah, still about 20-something remaining, 23 minutes remaining for you on this Saturday. Thanks for being with us every Saturday, Florida Talk Real Estate here on Real Radio. Johnny C is me. Jimothy's our producer extraordinaire. What's up, my dude?
Hello, and good morning.
Good morning. We got Ross Komarinetz with Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. Hello, Ross.
Juno, that's right.
And, of course, Jimmy D's over here. Jim DePola with the Florida Home Pros team. Keller Williams Innovations. Hi, Jimmy D.
Hey, doing good, doing good. Happy South Florida, everybody. Didn't say happy South Florida, and Merry Christmas and happy holidays to everybody, and hope you enjoy. Just wanted to mention that we put out a video about an hour ago, maybe 2 hours ago, called Bye Bye New York, Hello Florida. And it was our interview that we had with Mike, who bought that house in Orlando through us. He lives in New York, is moving down to Florida eventually.
Yeah,
we have a really
Orlando-ish, right?
Yeah, we have a really good video on YouTube. So if you're thinking about moving to Florida and you're listening to this and you want to find out what it's like to move down here and the experience, Mike and Colleen gave a really good interview about what that experience was like for them. So Go ahead and check out that video. It's on YouTube. Please like, subscribe, and follow. That is Florida Talk Real Estate LLC. Florida Talk Real Estate LLC on YouTube. So check it out. We've already had like another 20 views since I just said all that stuff. So keep it going. Okay. Wanted to go over the market report. I don't know if we did it last month. So it's good to kind of catch up. And this is the 11th month. So we're almost done as to exactly what's going on in the market right now for the year. So when we started the beginning of the year, everybody was predicting that we were going to have 3 to 6 rate cuts. Remember 6? People were actually saying 6 rate cuts. I was laughing so hard at that time. 3 to 6 rate cuts. They were expecting that our inflation would be down to 2% or lower. They thought that our unemployment rate would be probably pretty much the same. Couldn't get much better than where it was at the time. And they expected that interest rates were going to be into the like 5.75 to 6-ish is where they thought we would be at the end of the year. They also thought that this would be a bounce back year for the economy as far as sales. So that's the thing that to me is the most surprising thing that even I didn't realize that I really think is affecting the market and people don't get it, is that even though that we had that boom during 2020, well, actually 2021, we had that boom where we had tremendous price increases because of the COVID market. And ever since then, people are thinking that, you know, that the real estate market has been pretty good. And in one way it has, because technically on paper, the prices have held pretty good, but the sales have collapsed. And that's what I'm really surprised about. I've talked about it before I remember one month, I think Palm Beach County had under 800 homes sold in 1 month. And I was like, wow, I can't believe it was that low. Normal's 1,400 a month. A good month would be anything 1,800 and over.
Right.
So for be under 800 is like, oh my gosh. But as I mentioned a little earlier, right now they're projecting 4.13 million home sales in the United States this year. The lowest part of the Great Recession was 2012 for sales, the year we started the show. And there was 4.58 million homes sold that year. So we're selling about 400,000 homes on 4 million homes. That's about 10%.
Yeah, and home values are probably half what they are now, huh?
Oh, back then?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
easy
About
half.
50% for sure, right? It might even be 60%,
Yeah.
right? So what we're seeing right now is that we have tremendously slow sales. And that's why we lost so many realtors. We lost the most realtors we've lost since the 2006 through 2000 and whatever crisis, right? We lost a lot of realtors back then, but we've lost a lot of realtors over the last 2 years because these sales are so slow. So what happened? Here's what, when you look at the stats for Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, and St. Lucie counties, I took notes of how the national economists are talking about these stats, right? Or the economists locally are talking about these stats. And then I want to talk to you about some insider stuff that I think that looks differently. So in Broward County, this is the roundup. Broward County, single-family home sales increased by 14.2% with a median sales price of $600,000, down 3.1% from 2024, from November 2024. So we had a 14% increase in sales, but a 3.1% decrease in home values during that compared to November of last year.
I wouldn't have guessed any of that.
Right, me too. So let me just keep going here, okay? Now, Palm Beach County, single-family home sales rose by 12.6% with a median sales price of $592, up 7.6%. Hold on to that, okay? Martin County, single-family sales surged by 22.5% with a median sales price of $391, slightly down by 0.9%, so 1% down. And then finally, St. Lucie County, single-family home sales increased by 5.3% with a median sales price, oh, they got this one wrong, of $671,000. I think they swapped Martin County with St. Lucie County.
I think they did too.
There's no way. Yeah, it's like 391. That was not right for Martin County. So Martin County had 671, up 3.3%, and had a 5.3% increase in sales.
No, Martin County was down 0.9%.
No,
Value.
St. Lucie. What they did is they swapped the
all
figures.
the numbers or something.
So what happened is, let me just start this over. Martin County had single-family home sales increased by 5.3%. with the median sales price of $671, which is an increase of 3.3% for the home value. St. Lucie County had single-family home sale 22.5 with the median sales price of $391, slightly down by 1.9%, 1%, right? Now, what I want to do is...
So Martin and Palm Beach are the only ones that had value increases. And Palm Beach was double what Martin was.
And actually, I didn't have a chance to pull up Miami-Dade, but Miami-Dade had a pretty big price increase, a value increase, median home value increase.
Like 7% like Palm Beach? I can't believe the 7% was for Palm Beach. That's a big number.
Well, this is what I want to talk to you about. We're going to talk about that for a second. So let's just use Palm Beach as the example. I'm pulling up the old reports that we had.
It just doesn't feel accurate.
Yeah. Well, it is accurate, but it doesn't tell you the full story. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Could be heavy on like those Palm Beach homes.
Yeah, if it's
like
median
heavy
number we're talking here. Yeah.
Yeah, it could be,
right.
Heavy on that
That's
very
what
high
drove,
price.
That's what drove the market for the year, right? Yeah.
Right. So but the thing is that so in Palm Beach County, we had a median sales price of $600,000, right, which is down 3.1 from November, right? However,
from November,
of last year.
Gotcha.
It's year over year,
Right.
right? They're doing year over year stats, but that doesn't help people making decisions on the value of their property. And that's the point I'm trying to make on this little segment, because if you look at the last 12 months for median sales price, our peak this year was 645 so far. So the highest we ever got this year. We started out in January. Take it back. January we started out at 650. Now we're at 600. Okay. So would you care more? And so the point I'm trying to make is that when you look at year over year, there's such a big gap over that year that you want to look closer to the timeline where we're at right now to see where the median sales price is to more recent times. So like September, we were at 615, right? We're at 600 right now. In October, we were at 622. We're at 600 right now. Last year, the peak was 659. We never hit that peak again this year. The highest we ever got was January at 650.
Well, then how are they getting a 7% increase?
3.3%. 3.3% increase year over year. Because November of last year,
We're talking
November of last year, we had a 0% increase because November of last year, we were at 600. And
wasn't
that's
the
where we're at
I
now.
thought the stat you gave for Palm Beach County was a 7% increase.
It said down 3.1% from 2024 for Palm Beach. Oh, no, that was Broward. You're right. 7.6% increase.
None of that numbers make any sense. And none of what you just said. It's not a 7.6% increase. It's that we actually have gone down.
I understand where you're coming from in this, and it's what the stat, I pulled the stats right off the chart. Right. So, but when it actually was a different chart actually than I normally use. So maybe that's what the problem is here. So maybe this segment's going to suck right
Ross
now.
going to make sense of it.
No, I was going to say, I mean, at least like I look around at what people are asking for in the homes around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's outrageous and it's up,
Well,
I mean, they're asking, I don't know.
One thing that's true is the sales did go up. Okay. Like the amount of sales across the region in November were higher than a year ago.
Yeah, I was going to say that number makes sense.
So
it seems
that
like there's a little uptick.
But I think we're already going through a haircut. Remember I said the only way that I think that we're really going to solve this affordability crisis, it isn't going to be property taxes. It's not going to be property insurance because there's not enough savings in there to make up for the high price for quote interest rates, which are not high, but they're high because our house values are high compared to the median income in our areas. So based on that, the only way that we're going to get out of this pain is either figure out a way for everybody to make way more money than they are now. That's not happening.
No. Universal basic income?
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
you've been talking to Elon. And then the only other way to do it is to either have crazy low interest rates, right? Don't see that happening because if we have that, every time somebody goes, I want to go back to 3%, my answer to them is like, oh, you want a COVID market. And then their face goes blank.
Yeah, that house is an $800,000 house now.
Yeah,
exactly. You got a bunch of cash.
Like, well, you want a COVID market? Because that's why we were in 3. But the only other way would be to greatly reduce the prices of the homes that are being sold. And we already went through that part of it on this show when we saw prices go from 2005 at a peak and slowly, well, not slowly, very fast, and then slower and slower and slower, but it kept going down, first at a super fast rate. Then over the years, it kept going slower and slower, but reducing all the way through 2012. So we had like a 6.5 year time of prices going down, right? When we were done with that whole thing by 2014, we were exactly where we were supposed to be if we had 3 to 4% appreciation for all that time, right? We had COVID. We had the biggest price increases ever during COVID, other than the dirty mortgage market. We went too high. We went too high for our affordability, and it was because money was cheap, so people could get in at those prices. and then they never went back down again. And until that's corrected, I think we're going to continue to have this affordability crisis. Extending the mortgages doesn't work. It's like renting a home. It's basically you're leasing a home if you have a 50-year mortgage that they bandied about. The property taxes would be great, but if you're saving, let's say your tax bill is $5,000 a year, so you're saving $400 a month. That might not be enough. That might not be enough on mortgage rates with interest rates. $400 might not put you as a medium income user to buy a median income or medium priced home in the area.
But it might be, might be enough too.
You think so?
It could be. Yeah.
For some people, some people, yes.
Right.
For some people,
But I
not
feel like
across the board.
if you got rid of property taxes, I feel like the people who already own their home would be would benefit the most, because I feel, hey, if we don't have property taxes, now it's not, those people aren't going to save that $400 a month. They're going to allocate that $400 a month to their mortgage payment now.
That's right. And
so
then
it's not
just
going to be
increase
savings.
Right. And it's going to increase the values of property.
Yeah.
Right. Because now people can afford in my example, $400 a month larger mortgage payment if they wanted to go that way. And that's what happened with COVID. Everybody, because money was so cheap, they bought the most that they could buy up to their budget, right? They whatever their budget was, they were maxing. Almost everybody was maxing out their budget.
Sure.
Because your interest rate was 3%. Why not use other people's money to buy what you're going to buy?
Of course.
And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's the system that allowed it to happen and created the situation, and then people just took advantage of what was there.
We sign up for that whenever possible.
Mhm.
Other people's money? Yes.
Yes.
And people have a tendency of doing that anyway, right? You spend what you can.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
we live by our means.
The
But
fix would be
Mhm.
in the mortgage underwriting process is if they still qualified you DTI purposes as if you had that tax payment.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, like to offset it, right?
Right.
To
And
offset
so,
that way
hey,
you couldn't afford to spend the
exactly.
extra. Yeah. Something's gotta work here. I don't think privatizing Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae like they're talking about, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I mean, that's how we got the dirty mortgages in the first place, is we just let the bankers do whatever they wanted to do.
Yeah, deregulated.
And that whole Wall Street area, bankers and Wall Street, what they call K Street's lobbyists, but all those bankers and Wall Streeters, I'm sorry. I keep saying it this way, and I know I'm being rude, but I don't care. It's like they're pigs at a trough, and they're going to eat and eat and eat until they collapse. And they're not going to worry about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Because when they collapse, it's no big deal for them.
Yeah, because
there's no penalty.
They ate everything, so they don't have to worry about eating anything for a while. They'll just live off their fat for a while.
They're too big to fail.
Yeah. And that's what I'm afraid of. And so the idea of deregulating the banks, I mean,
Always
that's how we
horrific.
got into trouble.
Yeah.
Didn't anybody learn anything from 2006?
No.
Didn't anybody learn anything? So
That's a lifetime ago. We can try again.
But the point I'm trying to make with the monthly stats this month, particularly, we're almost at the end of the year, that we've already had a price cut. We've already had price drops across the region right now. Just people really aren't understanding it. And basically what I think it is, it's probably like an 8 or 9% price cut is pretty much what we're seeing across
That's
the
the
South
average.
Florida
That's
area.
kind of what it ties in. Because I don't
Think about
on my drip, I don't quite see 10% or even 8, but I see it. It's the numbers are coming down. Now it's not every listing, but it's starting to happen. I see it. Your numbers that you did share, St. Lucie County seems to be the ones that's most predominant to me. Because again, forever, I'm like, when I see the number on the list, I'm like, oh, that's Palm Beach County, and I click it, and it's Port St. Lucie, and I'm like, that's just silly. That's ridiculous. And those numbers are starting to peel down a little bit. They're still,
And I feel a good part of that is the supply and demand issue, where there's less supply down here.
But there isn't. I forgot to mention that everybody's in the 5 months, whether it's 5.9 or 5.2 months. We're
plenty of supply.
Yeah, there's enough supply out there. It's the supply
Price.
doesn't match.
Price.
The supply doesn't match demand. But I just checked it. So just for Palm Beach County, so the median sales price right now, is 600. The high for the year was 650. So we've had an 8.3 drop from the high. The high was in the summer. right? Now, it typically goes higher in the summer and then goes a little bit lower. So part of this is seasonal. But if you do the high from last year, 2024, to where we are right now, we have a 9.8% drop for median sales price. Now, that fluctuates. So it isn't going to be like, it hasn't been consistent. It goes up, it goes down. It's very choppy.
That's what's interesting with the stats they put out, because they said we went up 7% for the year to year.
Right. And it's kind of choppy, and the whole thing is kind of choppy. But what you need to worry about, if you're worried about either buying a house now or if you're refining it, you need a cash out refi or something like that, and you need to know the value of your home, you got to look at stats as recent as possible. You can't be looking at what you're reading in the paper about what's happening. That's just kind of like medium-term trends. It isn't like right now news. It's like this is what's happened over time, over the last year,
right,
between this month and a month a year ago. But that doesn't give you real-time information to make the right decision that, for you and your family with your needs. And the way you do that is you get the advice that you need.
Yeah. You got to go to a pros pro, FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. We have them lined up for you, a team of professionals, all a click away. FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. On Facebook and YouTube, consume and share away. You can change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com.
So let me see. Let's talk a little bit about HOAs today. I'm going to go into more detail about this in another time, but I want to talk about this.
Got it.
Yeah, we got 3 minutes?
Yeah, about.
Okay, yeah, plenty of time for this. So they're proposing right now, the state legislature down here is proposing that they create an office of the Homeowners Association Ombudsman. So they want to create a whole new division, kind of like the State Department of Insurance.
I've been a budsman for years. I should definitely look into this.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Indica sativa.
Mostly a sativa.
So there you go. So Office of the HOA Ombudsman, right? Which is basically going to be like the State Department of Insurance, where they're going to oversee all the HOAs. And if you have a complaint, instead of going through heavy litigation right away, you'll go to them and try to resolve the dispute. They're supposed to oversee any kind of wrongdoing. So they're also put into effects that HOAs have to be more public and more transparent about what they're doing to their own community, because a lot of these people feel like they're left in the dark and don't know what's going on.
It's because they don't show up to any of the meetings.
But here's the thing. Who's going to pay for the ombudsman? All the people in the HOAs. Mm-hmm. So now this is going to be another cost, housing affordability, right? So let's pour more money on extra fees. So they're talking about in this bill, if it passes, that the HOAs are going to have to collectively pull all their money to pay for this ombudsman office. So what do you guys think about that?
That feels ridiculous. It really does. Feels like you're making it worse.
I know. Yeah. Something's got to fix with these HOA, though.
Well, get involved with the HOA. You know how you fix your HOAs? Get involved with your HOAs.
Yeah. Same thing with like the government. You got to get involved. If you want to fix it, you got to get involved.
Well, and everybody focuses on national politics, which is probably not where the focus should be. I mean, not probably. Your local government is where it all really affects you, and you line up 10 people and be like, all right, start naming some commissioners and mayors and be like, good luck. Yeah. No interest, no involvement. Get involved.
Same thing with the HOA.
You can change things dramatically.
And there's no fourth estate anymore.
But with personal responsibility is not anything we're interested in. We just want you to fix it. Fix it.
Yep.
And because we don't have the fourth estate anymore, it's basically been gutted. There's nobody out there looking over the shoulders of the politicians and the government officials to make sure that they're operating properly. There's nobody going to those meetings.
Apathy is running rampant.
Right. They don't have any idea. I'm telling you right now that there has to be I'm not talking about any specific city. We're Florida.
Yeah.
There's
just doom scroll away. Just get on your phone and doom scroll.
I've been a part of a couple HOAs as an owner, and I think I've been to 2 meetings.
You're not complaining.
You're right. Yeah. But like I am one of those people. I don't.
It's like,
I don't go.
So I don't.
But if you had an issue,
if I had an issue, right? I'd show up and we'd talk about it. And,
That's right.
Or maybe get in a fight in the parking lot. But
Come
whatever.
On. Meet you over by the fence.
Now, here's another funny thing. So how much is it going to cost? Everybody that's in an HOA, the proposal is every person that lives in an HOA is going to pay $4. Now, if you don't pay the $4 by March 1st,
they foreclose on you.
There's a 10% fine on $4.
Well, it probably occurs
So I
every
wonder
day.
how much it's going to cost to collect the $4. How much the fines, like the processing of the fines
the
and everything.
administrative fees involved with
Yeah.
the
So
To
this
send
just
out a
sounds like more
stamp,
bureaucracy.
to send out a letter to notify you of your fine cost you over 50 cents to collect 40 cents.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So anyway,
At some point, you got to stop printing pennies. You know what I'm saying? You're like, this doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
It's funny.
Thank
Thank you, guys.
No, thank you very much. And thanks for being with us on a Saturday. Hopefully, the information that you hear on a Saturday, it puts a little smile on your face from time to time, really informs you and gives you firm footing that if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, you're stuck with a home, you don't know what to do. If you have anything that touches the world of real estate and you need professional guidance, hopefully you're thinking FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. If you're not, write it down. We're on Facebook and YouTube. Lots to consume. Share away because you can absolutely change lives, including your very own, with the pros of FloridaTalkRealEstate.com. Changed my life. Jimothy's had some touching from the team.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds weird.
Changed my life
Yeah.
as well.
You know, he's
absolutely.
remarkably soft.
Yeah, that's why he's got the clap.
Mhm.
That's why he's got the clap.
Again.
Again.
Jesus.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being with us. Ross Komarinetz, Brightway Insurance, Juno Beach. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend.
Thank you. And I hope everybody has a happy holiday for whatever they celebrate.
Happy holidays to you, too. Jim DePolo with the Florida Home Pros team. Have a great weekend and happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to everybody, to you too, Johnny, and everybody else. Thank you so much.
Timothy, thanks for everything always, my dude. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and happy holidays to you and yours.
Thank you, Johnny. Happy holidays to you, Jim, Ross, and for you listening as well.
Thank you so much for being with us. Take care of each other. Enjoy your family and friends as best you can. If you don't have any, time to make some because you should not be alone on the holiday season. You can go to Jimothy's house.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's 2 years now. If you haven't seen it, get your butt up there.
Yeah, come on over.
Yeah, for real, for real.
Mhm.
We're going to squeeze out some sports here in a second. Stick around. Greek's in the bullpen. He's ready to go. I'm going to slide over there in the producer room with Jimothy. We'll squeeze out some sports.